Imagine a place that tells a story spanning centuries, where culture and nature intertwine to create something truly extraordinary. That's the beauty of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. I'm Abigail, and this is Global Treasures, the podcast that covers the history, travel tips, and legends surrounding one of the 1,223 World Heritage Sites each episode. These places have been identified as having universal cultural or natural significance that is so exceptional that it transcends national boundaries and is of importance to present and future generations. Welcome to Season 2, where we'll explore the 45 sites that UNESCO added in 1979 together. Thank you for listening to the Global Treasures podcast. We appreciate all of your support, and you can continue to support us by subscribing at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Podbean. You can also follow us on TikTok or on Facebook. Please share the show with others who are passionate about immersing themselves in the rich history of these sites, or who love to travel. We also appreciate it when you leave us a review. Located high above the banks of the Rusinski Lom River, near the village of Ivanovo in northern Bulgaria, stands a truly extraordinary monastic complex, unlike any other in the country. The Rock-Hewn Churches of Ivanovo are a stunning collection of monolithic churches, chapels, and monasteries carved into the cliffs over 100 feet above the river. Located within the Rusinski Lom Nature Park, just 12 miles south of the city of Rouse, the complex is renowned for its spectacular medieval frescoes that have remarkably withstood the test of time. These caves first became a spiritual sanctuary over 800 years ago. In the 1220s, the future patriarch of Bulgaria, Joachim I, founded a monastic community there. Now, a monastic community is when a group of nuns, or in this case monks, live together and often follow a very strict set of rules. For example, taking vows of poverty and devoting their lives to a specific religion or faith. These communities have been an integral part of the conservation of artistic heritage throughout the world, especially in the medieval period. Over the following centuries, the monks would carve out a network of cells, chapels, and churches directly from and into the limestone rock. At the peak of its activity, the complex possessed around 40 churches and approximately 300 other monastic premises, although many of these no longer remain. What truly sets the Ivanovo churches apart are the 13th and 14th century frescoes preserved in 5 of the Rock-Hewn churches. These vivid murals are celebrated as masterpieces of Bulgarian medieval art, and some are the finest examples of Paleologan artistic style, which often features religious icons. Among the key structures within the complex are the St. Archangel Michael Chapel, also known as the Buried Church, the Baptistry, the St. Theodore Church, also known as the Demolished Church, and then you have the main church, whose 14th century frescoes are considered the crown jewel of the site. What is so striking is that even after hundreds of years, the red, yellow, and blue hues are still vibrant. Throughout the centuries, the complex also preserved many ancient inscriptions by the monk Ivo Gromatuk, dated between 1308 to 1309. The Rock-Hewn churches enjoyed the patronage of rulers from the Second Bulgarian Empire, including Ivan Alexander, whose portraits still adorn the walls of some of the churches. Nobles from the former capital of Tarnovo and the nearby medieval town of Chervin also supported the monastery. This reflected the essential ties between the complex and the political and cultural centers of the 13th and 14th century Bulgaria. In the 14th century, Ivanovo became an important center of hesychasm, a mystical tradition of silent, contemplative prayer within Eastern Orthodoxy. Though the monastery complex continued to exist into the early centuries of Ottoman rule, it gradually fell into decline. Recognized for its unique spiritual, artistic, and historical value, the Rock-Hewn Churches were inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage Site list in 1979, securing their place as a treasured legacy of Bulgaria's medieval heritage. Many measures have been taken to preserve this remarkable place, including the cleaning of the murals. There was a notable rock collapse in the early 20th century, which was feared to have caused irreparable damage. Thankfully, the ceiling murals from the buried church were rescued and able to be moved successfully to another location for safekeeping. Incredible work has also been done over the years to both strengthen and waterproof the rock formation, which is no small feat. Now, if you want to visit this remarkable place, I'll cover some essential information, logistics, and tips for planning your trip. If you're flying in from another country, you'll want to fly into Plovdiv Airport and take a bus to Veliko Tarnovo. You can also fly into Sofia Airport and use Sofia as your hub, but the journey to the Rock-Hewn Churches is going to be much longer. Prior to visiting the site, you'll want to do some research and decide if you want to take a self-guided tour or one led by a tour company. If you choose to do a guided tour, they typically arrange transportation. Check out our show notes for links and tools to help plan your trip. Otherwise, you may want to rent a car. The self-guided tours typically come with audio guides in English, Russian, and/or Bulgarian, which is the official language. The self-guided tour, of course, is going to be your most inexpensive option. If you are planning your trip during the summer, know that it can get quite hot midday. It can get as hot as 85 degrees Fahrenheit, so you may want to aim to go earlier in the day. Side note as well, be forewarned that much of the signage is in Bulgarian only within the park and by the churches, so have a translation app or a book ready to go just in case you need it. While visiting, I highly recommend taking the time to hike through the nature park with its gorgeous wetlands and caves. This is also a popular spot for photographers, of course, and rafting as well. As I mentioned before, Veliko Tarnovo is a great place to stay for a few nights while visiting this site. It's a city known for its unique architecture, historical landmarks, and museums. So if you love all of the above, you will find plenty to do here. There are also plenty of hotels, bed and breakfast, and homestay options available. Of course, experiencing the cuisine is essential for getting the full travel experience. There are so many unique and memorable dishes I could recommend, but fil Elena is a dried, cured meat that is named after the city in northern Bulgaria. If you're familiar with prosciutto, it's similar in the sense it's often served thinly sliced and very salty. It's an appetizer that is frequently served with wine or beer and is definitely worth going out of your way for. Whether you explore the entire country or come to Bulgaria specifically to visit this remarkable site, the Rock-Hewn Churches of Ivanovo live on, continuing to showcase Bulgarian medieval art, spiritual beliefs, and the practices of the time. Thank you again for listening to the Global Treasures podcast. Join us for our next episode, where we'll cover Sagarmatha National Park, located in Nepal. Come learn about the history and travel tips for visiting these stunning glaciers and incredible mountain ranges, including the infamous Mount Everest, the highest peak in the entire world. Until then, keep exploring, keep wondering, and keep treasuring the remarkable diversity of our world's heritage.